Well, good morning, good afternoon, or maybe it's even good evening for you. We are doing this live, but maybe you are getting this at a different time. My name is Jordan, and I'm the lead pastor at Community Gospel Church. Wanted to drop in on this Friday, May 1st, May Day, to let you know what is transpiring and going on with our community as well as our church and what is going to happen this Sunday so that you know all the details and how to participate, how you choose for you and your family. First of all, we wanted to let you know that there is a great guide for us that the state of Indiana has provided. These are extremely challenging times. It is super hard to be a pastor right now. It's super hard to be a politician right now. It's super hard to be in any sort of leadership, whether that be your own business, family, whatever the case is. Challenging times for everybody. We know that. And what we have seen is that as we continue to work with our government, as we continue to work with our local authorities, our church, the EFCA, which is the denomination that we are a part of, and other denominations and churches, we're realizing that there are various amounts of opinions and people who think one thing and then think another thing. And it is hard to kind of come to some common ground. But we think we have done our diligence here, and we are listening to all of those individuals, and we know what Proverbs says is true. In a council of many, there is much wisdom, and in a council of the godly, there is even more wisdom. And so we want to do what is best. And what we realize is that Governor Halcomb came on, and before we go any further, the most important thing for us to understand is in this whole situation is that religious entities, groups, facilities are essential. And that just warms our heart, that it is essential for us to gather and to worship our great God. Both the United States Constitution and the Indiana Constitution protect the rights of Indiana people called Hoosiers and people all across our nation to worship and to freely exercise their religion. And that's huge for us. And so when we get anything from the government or the governor or the state or whatever that case is, in our conversations, what we've seen is they are not trying to restrict our religious liberties, but they're just providing recommendations on what is best or what they feel is best for the community as well as for us, the congregation, to encourage a safe environment during these extraordinary times. So we hang kind of in this balance between honoring our government, but still doing what God tells us to do, which is to gather. And we have provided live stream and content in that way and these virtual services, but we know they're not really church. Church is that gathering when we come together in person. There's something that happens different when you're in person as opposed from being apart. Some people have even asked, like, why aren't we doing like a drive-in service, for example? We know our people pretty well, and we know our people wouldn't stay in their vehicles, would they? Our people would get out and their kids would get out, and we just realized that that's probably not the wisest thing to do. Next time people pull in our parking lot, we want them to be able to participate in actually worshiping together. So we have accessed our live stream and virtual services in the past and done that. And we've done that to our best of our ability. And now we're realizing that it's time to start moving back to what we had before, which is this in-person worship and providing what that would look like for our people. So when we look at this, we realize that we posted on our social media. What does it look like for us in regards to just the CDC and stuff like that? Like, what have we done? And we posted all those things on our social media account just in preparation for the ability to hopefully be able to participate in in-person worship. And wanted our people to be prepared for that if that stay-at-home order would lift. And we just wanted people to be prepared and start to get prepared, but also to know that we have been doing our part too as well. We know that Indiana has said that places of worship can help to prevent or it's not prevent, but slow the spread of the virus from doing those things. So we wanted to do our part there, and Community Gospel has done our part in that regard by making sure that all of our facilities and stuff like that are up to date. They gave some protocols for us in regards to our facility and what would be best practice for that. And we followed all those things to the letter. And now we're looking at kind of moving forward. The key to what they released that I think is so important for us to understand, that it's at the bottom of the document, and it's very, very important for us to remember this. The guidance provides only recommendations and suggestions. Under these exceptional times, it says, in which Hoosiers connect with their family community, these guidelines provide that places of worship may remain open. So we can remain open as a church. We have that opportunity and ability to remain open as a church underneath, like I said, United States Constitution as well as Indiana Constitution. And the guidelines that the government puts out are for recommendations because they're trying their best to stop this, and they're asking for our help. And we've done that in these past couple of months. Now, with that said, what are some of the things that they asked? Well, they asked us to go to those live streams, but what are they asking in regards to moving forward? Kind of, what does that look like? Well, we looked at all of their guidelines, and we saw that they're asking individuals who are 65 and above who have any underlying at-risk health conditions to stay home and watch live services. So that's number one for us. When we are looking forward to our services and having in-person services, we honor that. 65 or above, if that's you and you have underlying at-risk health conditions, we would say, man, stay at home, watch our live services. It's awesome. Through this whole pandemic, we've had the opportunity to see how we can utilize our YouTube channel and our live streaming capabilities and have chat functions and stuff like that. So there's been some good that has come out of there, and people of all ages can access those. So moving forward for our services, 65 and above who have underlying at-risk health conditions, man, stay home. Now, the other thing is they're saying is that 6 feet distance between individuals and family units of the same household. Ensure 6 feet distance individuals or family units as a whole collectively stay apart, during those services. And we're going to honor that too as well. And we know that you guys are adults, and we're asking you to help us in that regard. We have services coming up. We're asking our people to, hey, just maintain that proximity. If you come to our church and you don't have to shake our ushers' hands, you don't have to do anything that would make you uncomfortable in that regard. And you have the ability to do that. If you want to wear a mask, you can totally do that. We are not giving out masks. We do have hand sanitizer all over the church. Everything is clean. We have all of that. Hand washing stations, stuff like that are set up. We're not requiring people to wear masks. But if that's you and you would like to do that, and it helps you feel more comfortable by coming and participating in worship, by all means, go ahead. They've asked us to clean between services, and we only have one service on 10:10. So we're going to do that. And we clean and make sure the building stays clean. Just talked to our cleaner today and had the opportunity to ensure again that has been taking place. They are considering, they're asking us to place signage, and we know that a good chunk of our people, if not all of our people, have all of these things. And we're looking at what it looks like to put signage up in regards to just, hey, if you've tested positive for this virus or whatever, this probably isn't the place until you find yourself cleared and doing that. So we're looking at that signage, getting that signage posted and stuff like that. And like I said, with the greeter thing, we're looking at that. We are limiting or going to limit, the passing out of our materials. We're not going to have coffee and cookies probably for a few weeks. We're just going to do that. We are serving communion, and we'll continue to serve communion for people who are nervous about taking communion. You can bring your own if you want. That's fine. Or just abstain and just be like, you know what, man, I'm just not there yet. And that's totally okay. So we'll do some of the safe protocols for that, but everything's going to be clean to our best ability and stuff like that, and make sure that everybody's in that place. So those are some of the things that they recommended, and that's how we've honored those individuals. We know that that's so important. They gave us a couple of other recommendations, just in regards to opening like some of the nurseries and stuff like that, and I'll walk through that in just a second about what that looks like. And just having multiple services, things of that nature. But again, the most important thing is that this provides recommendations and suggestions. So the governor and the government is not looking at us and they're not saying, you have to do these things. They're saying you're essential and you worshiping is essential. And they're saying that this is important, that you guys remain open. So that is so near and dear to our hearts. So we hang in that balance. So what are we doing moving forward? What does this look like for us moving forward? That is an excellent question. And let me walk you through that just a little bit in regards to what is transpiring. Most of this you already know, because we've said this a lot, but here's our kind of revised plan for the church moving forward in this time. Okay, as of 5/1 May Day today. Okay, we looked at all of those things that they said to us, and this Sunday, May 3rd, the church is not publicly open. All right, so in regards to us being like, yay, we're open and everything's good, we are not publicly open, but we are going back to a live in-house service. We have published content beforehand, but this Sunday we're moving into a live in-house service at 10:10, no 9 o'clock hour, and that will be available to stream online at communitygospel.online.church. So you have the opportunity to participate in that via online venue. And for those who are comfortable with being present, they can do so at their discretion. The church doors are unlocked. And again, we're going off this guidance, which says we can remain open and it's a slow drip in. So if you're not comfortable with coming in, you don't have to. If you're not comfortable being present, you don't have to. If you're in that boat where you're like, man, that just makes me nervous, stay home, watch it online. We would love to have you participate in that way. If you're in this boat where you're like, you know what, man, that's awesome. We're just simply saying we're not open to like open, like, yay. We're just saying our doors are unlocked and you are, we're going to be there at 10:10. You pray about it and you decide. Okay. Jessica has already released the children's service. She released that today, actually, on YouTube, so that parents can watch it when they desire. They don't have to do that at 9 o'clock anymore, but they can do that whenever. She's actually going to do that for 2 weeks. Looking forward to May 10th, okay? We are back to being open. So that's when we're kind of coming back into this publicly open place. All right. Again, no 9 o'clock hour, but we're going to open up the sanctuary and the nurseries. Those nurseries are not going to be staffed, though. They're just for parents who need to participate. And this is just kind of the slow trickle back in. And again, if you're in that spot where you're like, man, I'm just not ready yet to be there, that's totally fine. Jessica's going to release those children's service videos. You can go ahead and watch those with your students, and then you can punch in online. Okay, that's totally fine. May 17th, everything's going to kind of pick up a little bit. We're hoping to kind of progress a little bit farther down the road. Sanctuary open, 10:10 service, man. Nurseries are going to be back open there, okay? No 9 o'clock hour still. But again, we're going to have those children's program services via YouTube. Or excuse me, sorry, I got that wrong. The children's program will hopefully start at that Sunday, and if that happens, those YouTube videos are going to cease. So we'll stop putting them online, and we'll start doing those in-house. The 24th and the 31st, we're going to kind of play this by ear, but hopefully that will be when everything is back to normal. Sanctuaries open, nurseries are open. The only difference is the 24th, no 9 o'clock hour. 31st, we would get back to the 9 o'clock hour. So that's kind of our goal and roadmap for us to follow. As the governor said, that roadmap can change, right? Things can change, but that's okay. All right. Some notes that you need to know. We've been talking with Becky, and man, keep praying for her and for her family. This is a difficult time for her with just her health, and she has to make choices on what is best. And we were talking today just about what that would look like for her coming back. And right now, it's just not in the cards. So we're working with her on when that's going to happen, her doctors, things like that. When she can kind of come back without a mask, it's hard for a worship leader to lead with a mask on. And so Bethany's going to come. She's going to fill in. Becky's still doing all of our worship orders. She's still working behind the scenes a lot with the team, making sure getting them in place. And we're working on those service elements and stuff like that. But until her doctors kind of give her the clear to come back, we're going to kind of keep her in that capacity, let Bethany come in and lead. And Bethany's totally okay with that too as well. Hey, I just want to thank you so much for your patience and understanding in this time. It is so hard sometimes to make some of these decisions, and it's not easy. You know, we understand there's this desire to get back, and people want to get back, and some people are a little tentative and nervous about that, and that happens. And we're trying to do our best to honor the Lord, the fellowship of the believers, and the governor and government that has been entrusted to our care. So we thank you and we covet your prayers. It's so important for us to continue to keep praying for us. Making decisions is not easy. Navigating through this is not easy. Somebody asked me the other day, said, "How are you doing?" I said, "Wow, pastoring in a pandemic is not a simple matter. It is super complex, super complicated, so many moving parts. Seems like things change all the time. But with the Lord on our side, it makes it all worth it, right? Everything's okay. We're going to be fine. God's been faithful in the past. He's faithful right now in this moment. He's going to be faithful in the future too as well. And we're going to continue to strive to do our best to make Christ known both near and far through it all. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Man, we would love to talk to you. You know, if it's anything, if it's just you have a general question, you want to talk to us, you can email our church office. It's admin@cgccommunity.com. You can reach out to us via our church website, our Facebook page, Instagram page. We have a Twitter page. There's so many ways that you can connect with us. And we would love to hear from you. It's so important for us to be able to hear from you. But we're going to continue to strive to make Jesus Christ known both near and far. And we're going to continue to pray for our people, our community, and our country. And we know this is such an important time for us. And I just want you to know how much you're loved and how much we care about you and how much we're seeking your best too as well. So keep it up, church. Keep doing awesome. We look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. All right. The best is yet to come. God bless.